Yeah, at least my story is consistent with a real medical report that got logged in. No, because again, the medical report and the questionnaire that you have on top, yeah, has a thing in there that's like an official seal for like the federal system over there that says that you cannot forge anything. Yeah, within the federal government and that everything that get logged in, I saw. Yeah, get logged in for like federal evidence, mental health specifically, so official record, right? So the official record to like the person right. So when I went to like get my CMP exam, yeah, that happened like 5 years after my military service. Was up, yeah, which was 5 years. So I was like 28 or 29. What's up? And it was like 2018 or 2019 or something like that. Before I moved to San Diego, California. Yeah, the official record is there, and then retreat on there because I already knew the doctor over there would go off and log it down. If like whatever I stoned, because I was literally making the effort to let the guy know that I'm making a recovery into more things. Yeah, so just imagine you get paid $1,000 every single month, and then eventually you got veterans that show up 5 years later and tell you that he's making a recovery, and his life is improving, and he's making every effort to go off and improve his condition. Yeah, that's what the dude wrote on the report that's official on the special for $1,000 a month. Yeah, where they could have reduced that payout to like, I don't know, $700 or something like that. Because the fact that the other injuries are there for like life, so as a chronic pain, so the system will always pay me the least for that injury, which is a bare 10% on the special, but the 10% itself is like $300 itself, and then when you want to stack up the injury, it's primarily their it's chronic. That's all. So the injury is chronic, and it's there permanently on the special. So these 10% that accumulate, like the ring in my ear, or even the other injuries around the special, that's like 30-40%. So like I would have been going for like 60% to like 40%, and then which I would still be getting a payout of like $500 to $600 a month for the rest of my life, especially on top. Yeah, and then I said again. Right, so I want to see no point whatsoever for like that group itself to go off and like do all this right that they did specifically to go off and like pass a rage on a person for like $600 a month that you get for like legitimate injuries that they cannot even organize our course. That's right to like my military contract or something. Right. So I tell you, the Americans themselves are like crooks. Inside they own a debt. That's all. So they never fucking trust them with a contract itself. That's all. Because I said they always going to go off and try to like undo the contract. Yeah, just to go off and make sure they will kill you for a debt. That's all. That's the entire thing you have to watch out for. Like the American system itself, it's going to take a debt from you, and then eventually they'll kill you just to be able to someone get out that debt into more things, especially. Again, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna go off and pull out the contract, and then they're gonna kill you for it. So there's like so many stories on, especially on how many of these crooks, yeah, always want out to like do things like killing their spouse for like inheritance on the special. That's a mindset that some of them have on the special, and then which it formulates as like a crook group inside the system to be able to someone get out of contracts and be able to navigate around it, right? So no, that was the most disgusting thing that I've seen or experienced as a veteran, because of the fact that the old dude tried to kill me. Yeah, as one is ex-military dude, just so he could go off and like take one contract, so like possibly millions. Yeah, with the veterans to then go off and like save himself like $4,000 a month or something, or even like $600 a month, just so he could go off and like burn more jets. Yeah. Because again, that stacks up into like bills that are not being paid. So all these equipment that they destroyed that was like hundreds of millions of dollars, they are not paid that back at all. So yeah, and then which is somewhere just to go off and make up for that debt. But we also you have like one dude that go off and like go work for like the federal government as a contractor to then go off and like remove veterans with like poison and diseases just to go off and like try to save a couple dollars on the space. That's pretty disgusting into my all experiences, like stabbed in the back or something. Because again, like I said, I was one of these veterans. I was just minding my own business, and then eventually bloodlust came through with opportunity, yeah, to go off and claim that PTSD is not real. Nah, then he gets stuck in limbo with me inside of a course because of the fact that, again, I made sure, yeah, that whatever I was doing was positive itself. So I didn't come to the Veterans Affairs system and go off to like beg for like benefits and go off and say I'm broken, I'm injured, I need more money. Especially, I went to the Veterans Affairs system and told them that I'm improving my condition and that they can go ahead and reduce the benefit if they wanted to. So, yeah, they said they didn't. They marked my condition chronic and permanent, and I got upgraded to like 100% on the special, and they logged it down on an official document. Yeah, stating that I told them that I'm improving on the special. So by the time they came to and they stalked, they harassed, they poisoned, all that stuff. So they worsened the condition itself, and they still try to organize our course stuff that way to like the person does not have PTSD. So I tell you what the case will be inside a course. It's like the veteran himself over there or herself. Yeah, has like a chronic leg injury that's been locked down. She got injured by like a IED blast and all that. But so yeah, so she had like a profile for the time being. It took her 1 month to recover, and then literally 2 years later, she showed up in the emergency room for like the same leg, and then later on, she gonna be walking around like this. So yeah, but she's gonna have a disabled profile for like a reoccurring injury, chronic pain. That's always gonna be stuck with her. But because of the fact that she learned to go off and just like deal with the pain, the same way that animal and birds will look fine, even though they have like a disease and stuff and all that. Yeah, that's pretty much how they caught me over there. So I'm just like looking fine on the special. I'm working a 9 to 5 and lifting up weight on the special because of the fact that I make the effort to go off and like take care of my muscle group and the injury itself to go off and like somewhat adapt. So because so to my adaptation itself, the group come to and they're like, well, we don't see a disability. We might get into more things, especially we believe in the spirit. And then we adult, whatever my instincts tell me about the spirit over here, so that must be correct. So then eventually they took a stick, and eventually they wanted to like slash and slap, they wanted to slap my leg and slam it around the special, and they jumped on it, they broke the leg, and then eventually they tell me like, that's a real disability. And then eventually why they did that, specifically while he had the injuries and they worsened the injury. Yeah, they recorded everything with themselves on their WhatsApp, and then eventually they brought it in front of a judge to then go off and be like, shame on you. And then eventually that's the case where we're like, me and the judge and my lawyer all have our mouths open. We're like, is that how my client is getting free money? Yes, that's how your client is getting free money. Your client was a recovering non-addict. Yeah, that was like a recovering non-addict that was recovering an injury. And then somewhere a ghetto military family over there. Yeah, it comes through, and then eventually they go off and they do their own thing, and then ghetto fashion. Yeah, while going off to like worsen the person's injury or poisoning the person and then killing the person without the person every time on his side of the story over here. Just like I'm mad, I'm enraged, and this guy is black, and I think he's a fraud on the special. And I'm gonna go off and invade his privacy and then make it all by myself. I'm gonna go off and expose to everybody that he plays to Black Jesus, and then he's a black supremacist on the special. Then I'll make it all by myself and then go off and complain that he's racist. Yeah, he's racist underneath the Constitution of the United States that allow you to go off and be racist inside your own house due to privacy law and the First Amendment on the special. I'm allowed to go off and like hold my own private opinion with my own black statue. Or like God, yeah, Jesus Christ into my offense special. And then somewhere go off for like and like go on about my first. Yeah, I can't even have a statue of like God or Black Jesus or the special. Yeah, to then go off on like go on about my first, and yeah, without having a white supremacist group here that go off and collude with the Russians. Be inside my first year to go off and like tell everybody that I'm a racist black supremacist over here that properly practice racism inside the United States by doing it inside my space area without doing it outside or on the internet. What's up? Right. And then eventually that was again, I cannot make this thing up. What's up? Yeah, black supremacists keep his racism legally inside the United States under the Constitution. Freedom of speech, privately, with the privacy law that he got, thanks to the Fourth Amendment. What's up? To then go off and like be inside his own house and go off and like somewhat practice whatever religion that he want without having Catholic or Mormon or evangelical go off and penetrate too with a surveillance system, and then go off and claim that the person over here into like what he's watching, what he's doing, yeah, it's traumatizing them on the special side. You see, so much drama, so many wrongs. Inside of a court system over here. That's why these people can never put pressure on me at all. And I let them kill themselves. That's the hatred that I have for these people over there, for the stupidity they pull. with no apology whatsoever. So I tell you, kill your child. Around the special. I tell you, kill that dude here. That was your kid, because I ain't got no love for you at all. You try to freaking kill me for like stuff that's like petty, entomorphic, especially, and then you want to torture the person with your family watching the person. Yeah, you said you went down to Pakistan with like some of the security systems that they get down here, and you took a feedback from like ghetto space that go off on public whip or hang the people in front of the public, and then you try to bring that back inside my civil system inside the United States. We try to force a generation that build a proper civil system to then go off and like be as ghetto as the past itself. That's very dumb. That's how I got to know you're stupid, because apparently you didn't know that most of these people who go off and take civil lessons, yeah, I learned what barbarism is. Most of them will always feel disgusted about some of the old ways on, especially this dude literally tried to bring back Salem witchcraft, burn the witch on, especially. Yeah, back into the U.S. or the Western system over here. So I try to go off and like try to find females that go off on like secret shrines that do witchcraft, and then the government over here is like secretly spying on them, going out to like prosper on the phosphorus powder into their face, and then slowly kill them and burn them down. Without ever seeing a trial, nothing like that. What's up? Yeah, I told you these dudes were mad stupid. It was just too easy for me to like deal with them. I just had to be sophisticated and complicated, yeah, as a human being inside the intellectual domain, and then I simply outboxed them with just my mind entomorphic, especially. I didn't even have to be in the ring. So all I had to just go off and do is just think of a stendo, and just have my stendo go off on like be the shadow that they find on, especially by the time I was done with them, it ended up even better. They're filling up the hotel on the special, and they're spreading misinformation on the space to go off and focus on something that will never make sense inside our federal courthouse in America. That's what happened when you have people that are nerds, yeah, inside the federal system that go off and pick arguments over like political topics over the internet, and then that somewhat stir up things on, especially by the time you're done arguing or forming an opinion over a board itself, that nerd or nerdette over here that lost the argument would then go off and you abuse the federal records on the system itself to then go off and get you docs. Well, on the special, and then someone compromise, become a liability for their own corporate group. Yeah, and then go off and win you millions of dollars just because of the fact that the crime on their affairs is always passionate. It's never neutral entomorphic, especially. It's always a crime of passion. Yeah, emotional, personal stuff. I'm like, you don't even know the person. Someone got personal over the internet. That's pettiness. Right, and then treat to that bad habit of like pettiness and like that ego itself. Yeah, you compromise your entire system and your affairs, and then by the time you're done, you're talking about global warming, saving energy on the special. Carbon emission? Yeah, carbon emission. That's up. And then you think, yeah. So you're going off to like waste so much electricity just so you could go off and like somewhat showcase that you have people over here that's willing to participate into an event to go off and stalk and harass somebody on the special. And by the time you're done with it, you don't understand why is it that I'll never back down from that. Because again, I got a big grin on my face over it because I know you fucked up. Yeah, inside of a course, and you can never win the kiss entomorphic, especially. I always win the kiss. I always walk away with a check. So I know you're fuck up, especially inside. So you think like all these people who try to pressure me is going to force me to walk away from the ability to like get my revenge to a course and grab a $25 million check? Nigga, get the fuck out of here. So I tell you, I'm not hanging on for the marathon into the longest. I say until a missile strike America, I'm gonna wipe off like half of California, the southern region of California, the command center down outside. I say again, I'm gonna hang on really tightly to that chance and the opportunity to go off and slap you in the cross really hard, and then collect a $25 million check of your fucking stupidity over here. What's up? And then I'll go off and make sure that I'm reading in history, both the newspaper and then both for like a video for human resource to go off on like, yeah, you the legend, man. You're the dog now.